definitely the two brothers connected right at the right at the seam. All right. Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to the TED Show. Today is Thursday, May 24th, right? May 24th. Wow. And you know, the iPad is new for me, so I'm not looking directly at the camera. I think the camera's that way, and I want to look this way. And I know you guys are going to say, Ted, you cut your whole head off. Ted, it looks like you guys are connected at the shoulder, and we are. Vicky, hey, glad you're here. Let us know you can hear us or see us. Hey, Donna, Stephanie, let us know you can hear us or see us. We're getting hearts already here. We're getting hearts over here. We appreciate you guys. Such an important show. Dr. Atch has an amazing product out there, many products, but I think it's just so important in this day and age. And I'm with all of us have been touched by cancer in one way, shape, or form. And I want to really dive into Peter's story. He likes me to call him Peter. Hayes does not, but Hayes isn't here. So I'm going to call you Peter. Oh God, that's right. It's like Santa. He knows when I've been naughty and nice, and apparently I'm not doing so nice right now. But please give him lots of love today on the show, and I'm just so excited to have you here.
Well, Ted, I really appreciate it. It's really an honor being here. I couldn't be more appreciative. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. I think what you have created is so important. I think I might have told you before. My daughter Courtney is a oncology nurse, and so she deals with the after effects of that on a daily basis and what the cancer patients go through. And hey, Stephanie, love the show and love you, Ted. Love you, Stephanie. We love you very much. Love you, Bing, over here. You guys are awesome. But I think that you're actually combining something that's not out there or available based on your research. So give them a little background on you before we dive into Nutronco, about you and who you are. And I mean, you can start when you were born, but as long as we're past first grade by the first 15 or 20 minutes, we should be able to get the whole story in.
Well, thank you. Yes, I was born in Hungary, and I did my medical school there, after which I came to the United States and did cancer research at the National Cancer Institute. I am an MD and also PhD. I have my PhD degree in molecular biology and cancer biology. After doing research at the National Cancer Institute, I did a residency training in Cleveland and a medical oncology and hematology fellowship in Georgetown. After that, I have worked as a community medical oncologist, hematologist for 10 years here in Florida.
I mean, apparently he's uneducated. So no, the fact that you are an MD and a PhD, I think that's so fascinating. So why, after all medical school, after going through medical school and specialty to be an oncologist, right? To be in oncology and hematology.
Yeah.
I got that right. Wow, all right. Then you decide, I want to get a PhD. I could barely get my master's degree. That was a struggle.
The PhD, actually I had that before I became an oncologist, but it gives you a different aspect of looking at disease and health, really. You learn to delve deeper into what's lying under a medical condition and the molecular biology of it and the molecular pathology of it. And I think it's an amazingly different insight. Just to learn how to do research, just to learn how to look up data and how you analyze data with a critical point of view. PhD definitely gives a totally different view of everything than MD. So the combination of both, I think, is really important, because one will be capable of bringing basic research and clinical research and clinical work together.
Well, is it true that in your medical studies, becoming an MD, that there isn't a lot of time spent on nutrition?
Absolutely true.
So I find that
Nutrition-
fascinating because
Yes.
isn't that such an important part of, so you're taking all of these, let's talk about the drugs first. So you're taking all these drugs for whatever your
Yeah.
particular ailment is, your disease, your diagnosis, and yet if the doctors aren't trained to know what nutrition goes along with that or how it impacts it or how it can impact the body, then how can the prescription for getting better really make you better when all of that stuff that's going into your system is obviously impacting you?
Absolutely, absolutely. Nutrition is such an important aspect, and it's so underrated, undertaught, underused. But luckily, there is a new era now, and nutrition is becoming more and more important. We know that just with proper nutrition, you can prevent 30% of cancers. And then
Wait, just with proper nutrition.
just with proper nutrition.
Now, does that mean I have to eat really bad, fake toasty stuff?
No,
And
no.
what is, because I think people are afraid of there's so many diets out there, and diets is probably a bad word, but that's what it is, fad diets. There's so many things out there, and as I do too, I think I'm a doctor once I have an ailment and I Google it, and then I've got, four forms of cancer because that's what Google told me.
Yes.
And then what diet goes along with it. We all want to self-prescribe,
Yes.
but how do you know what is a diet if 30% of it can be impacted by diet? What are some of the basics then that people can?
Well,
You're going to tell me to eat all the things that I hate, right?
No, it's extremely complicated, and there's so many studies going on, and so many websites and books are being written about the proper diet, and of course, pesticide-free and organic things are important, non-GMO are important, but things what not to eat are also important. There's so much carcinogens out there, things that cause cancer. And with the industrialization of the world, this is just becoming worse and worse. We used to have 3 in 10 people having cancer, then 4 in 10 nowadays, and in 10 years it's going to be 5 in 10. Every other people will develop cancer, and it's
is
the
that
environment.
I was going to ask you, so is that environment, and is it the fact that the foods that we're eating, you talked about pesticides, GMO, non-GMO, organic, non-organic, and now you can label things organic and non-GMO. It can have like 1/100th of what you're supposed to, but you're allowed to put it on the label. So people think that they're eating, like corn, for example, right?
Yes.
I keep hearing that there is really no good corn grown in America. Is that true?
That's probably true. You can actually Google how corn originally looked like 1,000 years ago, and there was maybe 2 or 3 rows of seeds or kernels, and now you know how corn looks like. It
looks
doesn't
so
resemble at
pretty. It's pretty. It's super pretty in butter, which I'm probably not supposed to eat either.
all. Well, it depends.
Now, we talk about, I have a friend, Russ Scala, who we do a show with, and he talks about that everybody's biochemically unique.
Yes.
And so when there's no magic pill, there's no magic diet that all of a sudden, hey, if you eat cabbage for 3 weeks and only drink water and starve yourself, that's the answer for everyone.
That's true, but there are basic things that everybody needs.
That's
and
correct.
I think that's the key.
I agree.
Everybody's different. We have different enzymes. We break down cholesterol differently. Some people can eat as much cholesterol as they want and still will have no increased levels. And some people make so much cholesterol on their own that even if they just eat vegetables, they will have a high cholesterol and atherosclerosis. So we all have our unique genetics, but there are certain things that everybody needs, and that's, I think, what we need to emphasize.
I mean, I think people are surprised that I still have a liver, right, because of my cocktail habit. They don't understand that I've got like 4 on the black market that are ready at any moment. But that doesn't matter. My son actually had high liver enzymes at an early age, which I also did too. So it doesn't matter. You have to be tested. You have to really dig deep and drill down to what your body needs. But a lot of times, back to nutrition, doctors they do the basic tests that the insurance companies tell them to do, and then there's no diving deeper into it.
Yes, and this is exactly what brings us to that phenomenon that special population of patients or people need special nutrition, and cancer patients especially. They're a very, very special population because they have a combination of several problems that creates this vicious cycle that eventually leads to their demise. And this cycle needs to be broken, and that can be achieved with nutrition. There are different needs that a cancer patient have, and they need to be addressed. And that's exactly what we're trying to do, to address nutrition, to address protection of organs from chemotherapy, to boost the immune system, to help with inflammation. And then nutrition will be much more successful. We know that if you just give food to cancer patients, they're not going to gain weight because their weight loss, their cachexia, which is a cancer-related weight loss, is so special, and it's coming from a combination of different issues that causes this vicious cycle of deterioration.
So you knew, so let's talk about Nutronco, because that came from, it's obviously a labor of love and a passion that you have, and because you saw what the cancer patients were suffering through, you saw that they were not getting the nutrition they needed. I won't boost anybody's discussion about other products that are out there, but they were full of sugar, full of things, and of course there's lots of studies that show sugar helps feed cancer. So if you're taking some of these nutritional things that maybe your doctor has said to take, and it's not necessarily, it's what they're telling you to do because that's the across the board, what they're told to tell you to do, back to the no nutrition training. So you went in and you dove deep and you're like, there's got to be a better way for people to get the nutrition that they need based on the treatments that they're having, based on the cancers that they have. And that's sort of where Nutronco was born. Now I summarize that, but give them a background.
That's absolutely right. I have treated hundreds and thousands of patients over the years, and while we can give them the best treatment money can buy, I saw them struggle to find a proper nutrition, because the leading nutritional supplements out there, as Ted just said, 50% sugar water, and then they throw in some vitamins, not enough doses that a cancer patient needs, and then the protein that's in there is a GMO soy-based protein, which has other ingredients and contaminants and even hormones that I had male patients growing breasts from some of those supplements.
I do not want that hormone.
Which I will not name. But the struggle that my patients and I had together to find a proper nutrition was crazy. And years ago, I decided that we will make eventually a supplement that's specifically designed for this population. And that was my dream, my passion. It became my mission. And we came up with this nutritional powder that really fulfills this niche.
And so let's say, so you know, as you get diagnosed with cancer for whatever it is, and chemo or radiation are usually the first discussions, and then you get freaked out, you're scared, you've seen it on a million different shows, then you go Google everything you can possibly Google, and you know you have one day to live, and you're trying to figure out how to get all that done. But when you begin cancer treatment, whatever your treatment is, then you begin to feel the after effects, which are also, because your bodies are biochemically unique, they can react in different ways. But what you want to try to do is give them the nutrition to replace what is happening in their body because of what's being put in their body.
Exactly, and more. What we are doing is not an alternative treatment. It's not cancer treatment. It's a complementary supplement that helps complement traditional cancer treatment chemotherapy. It gives everybody the proper protein, no sugar, and we can talk about sugar and cancer in a second, vitamins, proper electrolytes, probiotics, even nucleotides that will boost the immune system. The things that everybody with cancer on or off chemotherapy should take. And we just put all them in together. And there's nothing in there that interferes with chemotherapy. So chemotherapy can go, and all we do is support with a complementary, awesome nutrition that will address not just the needs of the nutritional needs of these patients, but also it does help with some of the chemotherapy side effects, decreases occasional nausea and many of the other non-life-threatening side effects of chemotherapy. It protects the liver, the mucosa, the GI tract, the heart, the nerves, and of course muscles. Muscle wasting is an important issue, and not just patients who have a lot of cancer like stage 4 disease, but patients who are just simply on chemotherapy to prevent cancer from coming back. We call it adjuvant treatment, because they get so tired from treatment they don't move. And
and they don't want to eat anything. They don't feel good, right?
Exactly.
So they're not ingesting anything. They don't want to eat. I mean, maybe they want to eat, but they're afraid. They don't feel good. So their stomachs hurt. They might have been vomiting from the chemotherapy, and the last thing they want to do is try to get nutrition into their body because they just don't want to throw up again. I mean, this is a show about about nutrition, Nutronco, and cancer, so we should be able to talk about that kind of stuff. You guys will get over it, I promise.
Yes, and just being tired and lying in bed, you're spending a week in bed, you lose 10% of your muscle. And our protein, which is a very pure whey-based protein, will build up the muscles high in branched chain amino acids and will prevent that muscle wasting. And that's also extremely important.
That's right. Thomas just got on here. That's exactly what this show is about. He said compassion. This show is about compassion. And that's what you feel when you talk to Peter. I mean, there's a love there because you've seen your patients suffer, and you knew that there was a way to at least mitigate some of that by providing them the nutrition that they weren't or aren't getting during chemotherapy, radiation, whatever it is. Now, I was talking to Hayes and to Willow, who are an amazing part of your team,
yes.
The other day, and one of my questions was, as a physician, so you create the protocol, you say, okay, you're going to go on chemo for this amount of time and radiation for this amount, and then all of a sudden, as a patient, you come back and go, I'm going to take something called Nutronco. So the pushback, right? Any time that you're taking any kind of supplement, anything that's outside of that protocol, those 9 dots that they like to keep, you get pushback on. But you've done so much research, you're in the field, and you have a PhD. So everything that you have done, all the years of work you've put into it, you've made sure that this isn't going to impact in a negative way ever their treatment. So talk a little bit about that.
Yes, that's absolutely right. We've designed our product for almost 2 years. It's scientifically designed. There's hundreds of scientific papers behind it that prove effect of the certain vitamins and electrolytes that we put it in there. But I also made sure that I check for drug-drug interaction and interaction between the ingredients, and also interaction between ingredients and chemotherapy. And in our product, there is absolutely nothing that interferes with chemotherapy or even things that typically people would use, vitamin C or vitamin E, that are antioxidants. Many oncologists would say, don't use any antioxidants, don't use any supplements with chemotherapy, and that's true. Antioxidants may interfere with chemotherapy, and some of the other commonly used herbals may interfere with chemotherapy. We stayed away from all those. Now, some other products we have, Gardanco and Renewonco, which is basically after patients finish chemotherapy and they have no evidence of disease and they remission. Those products will have those additional extremely helpful antioxidants and the green tea extracts and the curcumin that is very helpful, and there is ample data about them. But the Power Onco, our first product that is during treatment, does not have anything that interferes with any treatment at all.
So what do you think your biggest challenge is to get the word out? because obviously there's nothing like it on the market. There's really nothing. I mean,
Right.
I Googled it. Google should pay me to talk. I talk about them all the time. But that's what people do.
Yes.
They Google things. They immediately everybody gets their information from either social media or Google. I mean, this is where people go to get their information. And so there's nothing else out there like that. So to get the message out to the people, there are a lot of people that I've even seen pop on and off the show and over here too, that I personally know have either had cancer, going through cancer, been touched by cancer, have somebody that they know going through cancer. So when they want to reach out, do they go to the Nutronco website? Do they reach out to, I promise I won't give them your personal cell phone number, but what is the best way for them to not only be educated, but then go, okay, that sounds like something I want to do?
Yes, that's so interesting things that you just said. One is something I want to do is extremely important in cancer, because when somebody is diagnosed with cancer, really people lose all control that they had of their lives in many, many different aspects. And having something that is good for you, a nutritional product, will give you back some control. So I just wanted to comment on that, a little nugget of information. But at the same time, yes, Nutronco website, Nutronco, Nutronco.com. There's a lot of information, much more information, videos, blogs, and product informations. And we're trying to, get the word out in many different ways, like with your show, I guess. There will be some e-commerce within the next week.
Well, because I think people, so immediately I believe, honestly, that so we're creating a buzz. You guys are creating a buzz outside of the TED Show. You're creating your own buzz.
Yes.
It is such an important thing because people really are looking for something to ease what's going on, but they feel lost. They feel powerless, like you just said. And so then they're going out and trying everything known to man, right? They're going out and going. I mean, they're buying stuff from some crazy village in XYZ continent that apparently is the miracle drug of all drugs, and it's going to help you get through chemotherapy. And they do that out of a desperation because it probably is the first time they've ever lost 100% control. They have no control over. They feel like they have no control, but this is a way, you're right, I love what you just said. This is a way to give them back some of that control, something that is good for them and will help during, and then there's after products that you sell,
Yes.
and you've developed a lot of products.
Yes, we have developed a lot of products, and not just for oncology. The other important aspect of life is aging, and we have developed a product line for what we call successful aging. Aging and cancer has a lot in common. Cancer is basically a quick form of aging. It's a sped up process that has a lot of things in common with aging, and we have aging products to support successful aging. We also have products for
Define successful aging. I mean, I would like to get rid of some of this.
Successful aging is staying healthy, active in every way possible in life, in a private life, intimacy, financially, stress-free, as long as possible, without developing problems with your vascular system, with your eyes, with your brain. So we support all those organs.
I love that. I probably need that. I need a lot of milk thistle. You guys can Google that too. I take a lot of milk thistle actually, which is why I'm probably still here. All right. So, what was and we'll wrap up in just a second. What is the ultimate goal? What do you want to do? Obviously, like Thomas said, and I know in my heart, you have a passion for people. You are compassionate. You want to help people. Is that now your life's mission? You talked about mission.
Yes.
To get the word out and to provide something that gives hope, helps mitigate the effects. If you have not, I have been so blessed. I have not had cancer, but I have so many friends who have been through it, and you just feel for them. It's so emotional to watch them go through it, and to not even want to get out of bed, to not even be able to sometimes physically get out of bed after treatment, and to have all of these things. Remember, people who are going through cancer, their life doesn't stop. You still have to go through your treatment and then go take care of your kids, your elderly parent, go to work. And so if there's anything that can help mitigate the impact of what you're going through so that you can continue to do the things in life, Nutronco is definitely one of those.
That's exactly, you said it right. I would just say it in one word, quality of life.
Quality of life.
What our goal is to improve quality of life, to mitigate the problems, as you said, and to facilitate recovery from treatment, chemotherapy, and cancer, with of course the ultimate goal is to eradicate the cancer, and to do this in thousands and maybe millions of people. We want to help people, and helping cancer patients in a new way to improve the quality of life is our mission.
So one last question, which I didn't prepare you for, will probably kill me, but I know you're going to know the answer anyway. When you get the diagnosis and you leave the oncologist's office, what is the thing that you could encourage? What's the one thing that somebody ought to do before they go insane on Google, before they I just feel like people don't know the next step because they're given a sheet. I've seen it because I have friends that have come straight there to the club, and they know that I'm going to make sure we alcohol them up a little bit just to get through this first little painful process, or at least give them an ear. But people really don't know what to do next. What do they do? What's one thing that can help them get through? What do you do with your patients? You obviously educate, and you're sweet and kind and wonderful.
Education helps a lot. Love helps. Support.
It's all about the love.
It's all about love and help and support. People will go on the internet. What I'm always saying with what we're doing, we are doing the research for the patient from a scientific point of view. There's so much information out there. It's unbelievable. Some of them are real, some of them are unreal. To learn which one is true and which one is fake is very difficult. We try to do that. Our website has and will have more information in the future. It does have a lot of information. Basically,
I love that.
That's what I would
say. The love, guys. It's all about the love. So when you walk out of that room and you're not feeling it, because doctors, cancer. It's funny to me because doctors, again, they have a lot of people that are trying to help and deal with, and it's a lot, and they've probably got 10 people behind you that they have to deliver the same bad news to, and maybe one or two good news. I hope the statistics are higher than that, but based on what you said, yeah. But people really do feel so lost, and it's literally something they can't just write a check for, or they can't go exercise for the next 3 days and it's all going to go away. This is something that's life-changing, life-altering, and so check out Hi, Prentice. Check out Nutronic. Why do I keep saying Nutronic? Willow's going to kill me. Nutronco, please. And she posted that up there. You're a joy to have on the show, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
And you could see, I didn't say anything, and the first thing Thomas said was passion and compassion. And I think that's so critical. That's what people desperately need. That's what they need in our world, but they certainly need it when they are just diagnosed and they're going through this whole new thing that is going to have such an impact on them. And Diane Bourne, I think you asked a question and Willow did answer it. We are marketing to oncologists, sure, but we also want to educate the general population so that is something that they can go ask their doctors about, that they can go get involved. And that's one thing I always talk about, and we can talk about it on the next show. You have to be an advocate for yourself. You have got to get past the I'm afraid of my doctor and I don't want to have the conversation. You have to have the conversation. It's life or death, especially particularly in this situation, but in all situations. So I think We might have gotten a cue over here. We want to show, I want you to show, because they can't see it, look at Power Omco. Look at that. Pretty packaging too. I mean, I like to show, I like visuals, even though it's backwards for them. But you can find that all on the site. Willow has been here and she's been posting in comments. Here's what I would like to encourage you to do. You can message me with questions and I will get them to Dr. Atch. You can message him directly and I will get and then he'll answer you. We'll make sure, because a lot of you are going through it. Ask him, talk to him. I mean, how often do you get somebody like this where you can actually ask the questions and you feel good that you know you're going to get somebody who truly cares about what you're going through? And I really encourage you, encourage your friends, even if they're not on here, share the video with people, because I think that what we're doing, and I say we, I had nothing to do with this except the show, what Peter and Willow and Hayes are all doing is really miraculous. It's amazing. So thank you so much for being on the show. We love you guys. We're going to come back, so watch for the next show, and we'll have more information, and we'll talk about aging. I still want Peter to create a liver product for me and all of us crazy people that might have liver issues. But anyway, you guys are great, and thank you. Thank you, Willow, in the background over here. We love her. We love Hayes is not here today. But we're gonna bring more of this to you. You guys are awesome, and thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Ted.
Thank you. All right, have a good one. Oh, and real quick, this week we have a sponsor, and he loved your show. So Grata Software is our sponsor. Grata is on here.
Thank
so
you.
we love you guys.
Thank you.